التكاليف والحصول عليها والصعوبة والأمور هذه كلها لا تبرر الحصول عليها ما لم يكن الحصول على البراءة خطوة لتفعيل التقنية، مما لا شك فيه أن للحصول على أو للنجاح في عمل ترخيص معين لبوتنشل، يعني أي مستثمر إذا كان الموضوع التقنية محمي براءة اختراع سيكون مدعاة لتشجيع المستثمر أنه يدخل في عقد مع الجامعة. فعمر براءة اختراع ما كانت غاية، هي وسيلة. فيعني because it was mentioned your goal is to have a patent. No, it's not a goal.
I might disagree with you دكتور، لأنه sometimes الجامعات to get the patent just for ranking. كلامه قد يكون فيه شيء من الصحة الأخ اللي سأل السؤال هذا. just for ranking الجامعات قد ما بالضرورة just إنك just to go for and commercialize it and whatever. But just for ranking, I know some university does that. I'll do that. I did that. Thank you.
We are not talking tech transfer. We are not talking ranking.
Thank you. My question is regarding to Ms. Sarah regarding you mentioned the competition law and IP provisions. So how much IP provision I expect in the competition law? Is it 10%? Is it 70%? Thank you.
I'm going to do what lawyers always do and say, it depends. And it does depend. I mean, it depends on the country, it depends on the policy of the country, how they want to use their competition law to manage the market. You know, what we see often in the GCC is that the focus on is really on consumers, is protecting consumers, and that's the focus of anti-monopoly laws, not necessarily some other purpose. So it's difficult to say what provision should be in a competition law, or should they even be in the competition law? Do they have to be? They could be in the patent law, they can be in other general laws, which is what we do often see in this region, that you have to go to sources of several laws to build this sort of anti-competitive regime around intellectual property rights. Does that answer the question?
There is the principal U.S. antitrust law. It says something as simple as all contracts that restrain competition are illegal. Well, every contract restrains competition in some way. And so you have a whole body of jurisprudence of judicial law interpreting that broad concept to say, well, it's only the unreasonable ones that are illegal. And so there's no easy answer to the question, because you have to look at every particular fact. The fundamental goal of a competition law is on the premise that competition is better for society because it makes price quality increases, price goes down. It's just better for society generally. And so they create a body of law that tries to restrain business activities in order to maximize competition. The interesting thing, of course, many people get confused with is that it protects competition, not competitors. So if you have individual companies that might be hurt by some activity, business activity, it may not be a violation of the competition law. So you have to be careful to distinguish the two.
I think one other thing is also of a group of people who together might not have a particularly dominant position in the market, but all have a separate patent, and they all act in concert in some way to restrain the market or competition in the market, then that may fall under cartel behaviour. Well, I think it probably definitely would in the United States and in Europe. I think also another interesting factor, like the European system, improvements are not necessarily able to be, you can't necessarily say that improvements have to go back to the licensor, and they quite often cannot automatically revert to the licensor. The licensee can quite often take ownership of those. So there's various ways that various countries or regions try to use or restrain the potential impact of an IP monopoly.
Okay, with this, I think we can wrap up our session for this afternoon. Thank you very much for all the speakers. Thank you very much all the attendees, and we will see you tomorrow morning, inshallah.